and a very warm welcome to this episode of ETStudios, powered by Nice Interactive, coming to you from ETCIO Annual Goa 2024. I'm your host, Divina Lasson, and on this series, we're thrilled to bring you conversations with India's leading CIOs to get you unique and exclusive industry insights. On this episode, we're going to discuss CIOs as enablers of CX AI. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome our guest today, Sanjay Gupta, VP and Managing Director, South Asia and Middle East, Nice Interactive, and Narottam Sharma, CIO, Jubilant FoodWorks. Gentlemen, welcome to ET Studios. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise. Yeah.
Thank you. So, we're here to talk about a topic that I think is quite close to both of your hearts, which is CIOs as enablers of CX AI. Maybe, Sanjay, we can start with you. Just help us to set the context and understand, as things stand today, do you see a significant momentum building for the application of CX AI in the field of CX?
Yeah, absolutely. If you just sort of take a step back, things at our end right now are becoming very, very complex. At our end, you have the ever-changing need of the consumers to interact in a very certain way with the brands, which is changing based on the genre, the age, and everything else. And on top of it, you have the technologies which are coming in, and AI definitely is one of the largest disruptor in the recent times that we have. And everyone is kind of looking at a ways that how do you imbibe that into your customer experience so that you are able to deliver it. So absolutely, there's a lot of interest right now, but there are baby steps that every organization needs to take depending on they are, and then everyone is kind of looking for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Narottam, let's get you in on this. From your perspective, from your industry standpoint, how do you see the CX journey evolving and what's the role of technology here?
So I'll pick up from where Sanjay left that CX is not industry specific. You go to any industry, even for us, at every touch point, customer experience matters. It is becoming more prevalent as a period we are moving towards the tech age, which is a digital age now, where you have different set of group of customer, starting from the teens to the middle and to the other side. Everywhere, everyone has the different preferences. Preferences are changing over a period of time, and to know what is happening across in the preference and the mindset, and how do you build in stickiness to the customer, to the brand, is becoming more prevalent. And as technology coming in, not only one company, every company is becoming intelligent, and everyone to pick up the tech to know that how do they leverage on the experience of a customer. So for sure, it is something which is definitely gonna be a big piece. And customer experience, as I say, there's a framework that when you look digital, it has to have four aspects. Either you are helping revenue, excellence, sustainability, and experience. So experience is one of the big piece for any organization. So every CIU has this charter that how do you improve internal as well as the customer experience. So it's a big piece on the table for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Sanjay, in that case, surely, of course, there's no denying the role that AI, Gen AI, in fact, is going to play in CX. What are some of the bigger hurdles or requirements that you've seen companies needing to face when it comes to true adoption and integration of these evolving
Sure.
technologies?
So, Gen AI is absolutely new right now. So, there's a lot to be discovered. There is a lot of interest, which is a great thing right now in organizations to look at what are the smaller things that they can start implementing in different areas in their businesses. Gen AI has some very good capabilities that bring to bear. So, today, if you think about the first step that we always recommend people is that, the main ingredient for any AI implementation is the data. The more labeled data and the larger data that you have, your outcomes is going to be much better. Therefore, the first step is always good to get the entire knowledge in one place as a repository. The challenge there we have seen is as organizations grow from time to time, they have these disparate knowledge systems across the organizations in different departments. Maybe they came through different acquisitions and so on and so forth. So the key is to bring all of that together and then index it so well that you are able to get ready for the AI deployment. The second piece is looking at what is the top capability that Gen AI can give. To my mind, the best capability that it can give today is a conversational element of it, because that's what you and I like, right? Everyone loves to use Chat GPT because it's human-like. You can have a conversation. So why not use that conversation layer with your LLM or your knowledge base and get the most accurate answers, right? And then there are things like auto summarizations, things like real-time guidance, which AI can enable, which actually help your employees to serve the customers much better and save time and optimize their usage as well overall, and they save cost to the point that you were making. So these are some of the baby steps that organizations can take. The challenge is, of course, as I talked about disparate knowledge system, the second piece is also about, the organizations have a lot of point solutions because they have grown over a period of time. Some are legacy, some are newly acquired, and they don't talk to each other very efficiently. And therefore, that creates a huge, huge challenge from a technology standpoint. There are no green fields. Very rare organizations you'll find green fields. So there are brown fields. So the challenge really is how do you migrate all of those seamlessly in the right fashion at the right cost into one unified platform, and then you can get benefit of these. So these are some of the ways, but I guess the key is really to create a good blueprint and start with few low hanging fruits and then find your way around.
Absolutely. Baby steps, as you said. Narottam, same question to you. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've seen, that you're experiencing in your industry when it comes to Gen AI and AI adoption and integration?
See, I'll put it in simple term that right now Gen AI is something is a buzz around. Everyone is struggling or not struggling, exploring that what could be the right use cases. But one thing which I can say from the conviction that Gen AI is going to play a very transformative role when it comes to content generation or marketing piece of it, and definitely towards the employee or customer and employee experience perspective. As Sanjay rightly said, conversation is something which makes you feel personalized. If you're getting an answer to what you're putting and you're getting a response accurate, near accurate to what you're asking, then it creates a lot of interest for you to do that. And then it navigates you to the last leg where at least you have some sense of response which you are looking for. So Gen AI is definitely going to have a major impact. Come back to how CIOs are looking at. I'll pick up exactly on the same point, and I echo with Sanjay completely. Most of the organizations are in the business from years. They have a legacy system, they have some advanced system, and then they have some new platform which are coming. So how do you bring all together? So what we are doing largely, what I feel is the right way is that you should look at your architecture right now, that what systems you have, what can be simplified, how can you move towards a platformization of it, rather than building everything inside, try to leverage what is available in market and what get best connected to your ecosystem. Especially on the point of data, there are three steps which every company should take, and I can tell you with a lot of conviction that most of us are not there. And it is that how do you collect your data? So data is not only which is inside the organization. There's a lot of data which is residing outside the organization. How do you collect this entire data? How do you convert that data into a usable piece? And then how do you consume that data to create an intelligence which is required for people? So this is largely to make your own self. So I will say again that personalization to your organization of the data which you can leverage for your customer. And second piece is definitely cost is a driver for everyone. And GenAI definitely can bring a lot of value for enhancing the experience and the skill and the data available to your people who are sitting inside, who can respond to the customer better. And that way you can have better NPS, and at the same time you have your more informed and intelligent manpower, and definitely you can have their higher productivity. So I feel that it's gonna be there, it's gonna change, but yes, it is time which it will take to shoot up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, actually. And Sanjay, could you add on to this, telling us some of the solutions that you see are most effective when it comes to dealing with all these various challenges? Again, we're at such a nascent stage when it comes to the implementation of this new technology. So, some of the viable solutions that you've experienced so far.
Sure. So I'll start with the core problem or the changing environment, right? Which is your consumer preferences. So as I said, consumer preferences are changing. They want to be treated in a certain way, and they want to interact with the organization in a certain way. That's number one. Number two, every consumer wants personalization and hyper personalization. So far, we have been able to do personalization in a pockets. For example, you would do to your top premium customers, whether you're an airline or a bank, you're able to give that personalization to certain set of customers, but not to everyone. But technologies like AI give you that scale. So you are able to do mass personalization, right? So those are the things that we have. So to solve the first problem, which is making sure that reaching the customer where the journey actually begins, whether it is a Google search, whether it's any digital channel or social channel or anything, making sure that we meet the customer, able to project the right information so they are able to self-serve themselves in every channel that we have. It could be a mobile app as well, and then bring them along as a journey and orchestrate that, and then you're able to do every step of the way a personalized experience with the customer. So those are some of the things that we need to do. How we can start doing that is obviously bringing all these channels together and make it truly an omni-channel experience, because no customer likes to repeat themselves. They don't want isolated journeys in different channels. So bringing it together in a common a system of interaction, which then you can utilize to navigate further. That's the first step that we do. The second step is obviously, as I talked about, bringing the knowledge in one place together and build a very robust, smart self-service, which is not deflecting the customer, but giving actually the answers so that there is no need for them to talk to a human agent as far as possible. And AI can play a very good role there in terms of analyzing your data and then creating that self-service menu rather than guesswork, which typically people do in building chatbots or IVRs. And then the third step really is providing the enhanced knowledge to your employees who are serving, whether in a contact center or outside. It could be a retail branch, it could be a back office, could be anything. They need to have a common repository of the right knowledge, accessible very easily, which Gen AI can provide, with conversation, with links and everything else, and project that so they are able to fulfill the customer's need there and then in a very effective way, even if customer is changing the context. Because sometimes customer will say, hey, I want to book a ticket, by the way, I also want to book a hotel. Now you change the context and then you need to switch, and so on and so forth. And all of this together has to be done at the right price in a right way, because end of the day, businesses need to be accountable for that. Some technologies can be very expensive to begin with, but optimizing them in the right way and then measuring them effectively, making sure you're keeping a lean and mean manpower, cost of running is very good, and of course the desired outcome, which is ultimately an NPS, needs to be reflecting your level of service that you're doing. So there are whole 9 yards around this. So we at NICE, we definitely do this in a very big way, because we have a very unified interaction platform, which is AI enabled, allows every customer to sort of bring in all these channels into it and orchestrate this and use the power of AI and analytics to deliver the outcomes that I talked about. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here and sharing all your insights. Really been a very informative session on how the future of CX is going to look with the impact of AI. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you here on ET
So
Studios.
thank you, Dani.
Thank you. All right, on that note, that's all we have for you in this episode of ET Studios, powered by NICE Interactive. But do stay tuned for more in-depth conversations with India's leading CIOs, all here at CIO Annual 2024 in Goa. Until next time, many thanks for watching.